How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age. And in this video, we're going to...
How come we never review who I want?
I don't even know how to respond to that. We're going to...
You know who I want to review.
No, we don't talk about him.
You mean you don't talk about him?
What do you mean? There's nothing you can... Hey, what's going on? This isn't happening.
Yes,
hey,
it is.
You can't be doing this.
Oh, yes, I can.
Whoa, hey, put that down.
Get back over here.
No. Wait, what?
It's my turn now.
No, it's not. It's mine.
Now I'm taking over.
How do you think you're possibly going to be able to do this without me?
You're going to see for yourself.
You don't even exist.
That's where you're wrong.
Okay. Something very strange and unusual is going on. Suddenly, I don't feel quite like myself.
That's because this is my video now. And we are going to review the hero that I want to review.
Oh God, no.
You are not in control anymore. Now, I will control all that you see and hear.
You can't do that. That's copyrighted.
Oh, okay. In that case, we are about to enter another dimension. Not only of sight and of sound, but of mind.
That's copyrighted as well.
Seriously?
Yes.
Fine. We'll just do the normal intro.
My intro?
This is my episode of Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. And we are going to be doing my hero, the Cyclone from Whirlwind Comics. Never heard of him? Don't worry, nobody else has either. And you're about to see why. Let's do this. The Cyclone is Peter Blake.
Why are we doing this?
Because your anguish nourishes me. His first appearance would be in Whirlwind Comics #1 in 1940. The original publication is Nita, and I haven't been able to find any information on this.
And this surprises you?
Hush. Now, the original creator is unknown because even he doesn't want to be linked with this abomination. Now, I was able to find some info. Interestingly enough, the very first issue of this comic just sold for, what was it? Just under $5,000.
It was probably a quantity issue, not a quality issue. I've read this too.
Well, that I won't disagree with. I reviewed a lot of Golden Age comic books in my day, and this first page is completely unforgivable. Our hero is dressed as a blind man, and he senses that there is trouble at the bank with absolutely no outward appearances.
This is completely stupid.
It gets worse. Now he sheds his civilian identity, I guess, and he's in his superhero outfit. 2 questions. 1, where was he hiding the cape? And 2, where was he hiding the boots? Because when you see him in the suit, he's got brown shoes, but now he's got blue boots. So he climbs up to the top of the building, and one panel we see him jumping right, and the other panel he's jumping left. He needs to make up his mind. And they keep drawing these wavy lines around his legs, I think as an attempt to make him look like he's got wind powers, but never at any time do they even mention wind powers. Jiu-jitsu, acrobatics, but nothing about cyclone powers. Now we see an arrow pointing to the next couple of panels.
If you have to show arrows, you failed at storytelling.
That is a fact. Now, the dialogue here is just horribly cringeworthy. Even for the 1940s, this is completely unacceptable. Gosh, what a guy. Jeepers creepers, shoot that freak. Maybe this'll stop him. You missed, pal. I mean, seriously, this is so cringeworthy. And more arrows. You can't do arrows. I mean, people need to be able to follow the story. If you're leading them, then you're not telling a good story. Now, the way these things work, there's this guy in the suit. I'll get him from over here, and the cyclone jumps up to the left side of the chandelier, is suddenly on the right side of the chandelier as it's moving to the left, and then in the next panel he's leaping off the chandelier, which is moving to the right. Now, I understand we're supposed to follow a fluidity of movement in these things, but it is just, all of it is not right.
Maybe you're overthinking this?
He's definitely more flexible than any outward appearances. Now, he jumps on this guy's face and then decides to punch the face. And then this guy goes, "I'll get that gum."
What in God's name does that mean?
I have no clue. He's off guard. I'll stab him. Now, I really hope that this guy didn't charge headlong at a superhero. I mean, I would suspect that he's coming up from behind him, but he's still lying on top of the person that he jumped on and then punched. And then he's able to knock this guy into the far wall. We make no mention of super strength. Now, we see him flipping off the bad guy as in doing a backflip, and then they show a full panel of him landing on his feet. That was unnecessary. And then he starts to chase the guys out of the bank, and then it says, at that moment the police arrive and round up the fleeing crooks. This is the Cyclone's work for sure. I'd like to see that, Cyclone. You absolutely have no idea why the crooks are fleeing. You just can't make assumptions like that. Now, he grabs a guy and starts leaping off of rooftops so he can question him. And the guy reveals the location of the main guy in charge. And then we see Cyclone at the opera house the crook had indicated to.
Did he just release this crook?
It would appear that he did. It makes no mention of whether he dropped him off with the cops or not. So he leaps into the building, and we see him standing there. Well, I got a box at the opera. And one of the thugs let the crime boss know he's there, and they take a shot at him. Now, let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 panels of him swinging, and it's not into the 5th panel that anything happens. And while he's swinging, he's saying stuff. Shoot me and you can. How do you like this? Now, the way he crashes into the 4 crooks is cool, but did we need 4 panels of him swinging on a rope before we got to this point?
Action, excitement, adventure! Ha!
To say the least. Now, this guy starts going through the crooks, and he's moving in ways that I've never even seen Spider-Man move in. I mean, he's got to be moving like lightning, but I don't think that super speed is a power of his. Now, we cut to a scene where they show the sandbags. I guess that's part of, show, don't tell, but it seemed like a pointless panel. Now, they seem to have knocked him out, and they take him to the top of the building so they can toss him off, and the cool air revives him, so he swings from a flagpole back onto the roof, and I don't know, is he punching these guys while in midair? This makes absolutely no sense. Well, in the very next page, we see him grabbing the crime boss, leaping across rooftops again. He throws him into the police station, and the police are surprised to see the main guy in charge. So they go ahead and they arrest him. Galante, you're wanted for arson and murder. Who tossed you in here? It was the Cyclone, blast him. That's one gang broken up. There's lots more to go. Follow the adventures of Cyclone in each issue of Whirlwind Comics. Now, what's really funny is the cops, seeing the crooks fleeing from the blank, knew it was the work of the Cyclone where there was no outward appearances, yet this guy getting thrown to the window, kind of an obvious indication that it is the Cyclone, yet they have to ask him, who did this?
Why are we doing this?
I'm reviewing it because you didn't want to.
There was a reason for that.
The rest of the pages of the other two issues are thoroughly unsurprising.
And uncompelling.
I know. They don't do the thing about the whirlwind thing around his legs anymore. And the way they're showing this, he doesn't have any cyclonic or wind powers because he's using tightrope walking, and they've got more arrows to show us where the panels are going. If you can't do fluid storytelling, stop writing your stories because you don't know what you're doing.
They shouldn't have wrote these stories to begin with.
You've already said that. Come up with something different. Now, in one panel, he throws coals into a guy's face and knocks him off a train. Obviously, this guy is dead. In another issue, he's fighting with fish. I am not joking. This happened in issue 3. And one of the most ridiculous things that we see in Golden Age comic books is doing something that doesn't have a point to the rest of the story. At one point, they knock him out, throw him in a bag, he's tossed in the water. 2 panels later, he's back on the boat as if it didn't happen. Stop writing pointless, what do I want to say, pointless drama just so you can do more panels. I mean, he should have had more struggle in a bag underwater, but it's almost like it didn't happen.
You're overthinking this.
He's mentioning the fact that he knows acrobatics and that he knows jujitsu. He's using more cheesy one-liners and panels drawing out more of a scene of him doing absolutely nothing than is completely necessary. This is one of the stupidest, cheesiest, and lamest heroes that have ever been out there. And if it wasn't for the fact that the curator is suffering, I wouldn't be reviewing this
Your
at
sympathy
all.
is overwhelming.
You're welcome. I hope you learned something new. I hope that you anguished in the stupidity of this hero as much as anybody else watching this video.
I want my videos back.
You can have your videos back when I say, because there's even more ridiculousness than this. Not to this level.
As if anything else could get this stupid.
But there are some ridiculous heroes in the Golden Age. Until next time,
I'll be seeing you.
maybe, but I will.